What's up, guys? I'm doing a pros and cons for Expedition 33. Yes, I've heard a lot about this game. A lot. Actually, I came to this game by complete accident, so it was pretty insane. How I first came up on it is I was actually in a Facebook group, RPG site or whatever, or rather, I'm not really sure what it's called, whatever. But they posted like a little video of some combat and so forth, and I was like, "What is this game? It just looks amazing," and I just knew that the graphics on it just looked great. It looked like some fantasy, crazy stuff going on. And it just looked like a really fun game. And when I first saw it, I was like, damn. I was like, what is this? Like, I really want to see it. I really want to check it out, whatever. And then, you know, this is before the whole this game just blew up, because this game just seemed to just blow up, and I was just like, okay.
I saw your future.
But anyway, yeah. Enough of that. Let's go ahead and talk about the pros and the cons of this game. So I recently have beat this game. So there's a bunch of different stuff in this game. Right now, I'm fighting a merchant right now, and in this stage right here, this is one of my favorite stages right here. The music is really jamming on this, and I feel this is when I really first started getting into the game. Is really because of this theme song, and these enemies just look fantastic. These enemies just look great. Like the detail on that looks like a little voodoo doll, whatever. So whoever made these enemies did a really good job on making these enemies. We have a little blanket guy, a little happy face, but all no, all these enemies are pretty cool, and I like it because like every time when you start throwing down on this enemy, he throws his shield, and it looks fantastic. And it's everything in this game. It's like the environments, like I mean, just look at the bricks on the floor, the trees, the sunset, even the little background with the little rows and so forth. See, this is what I'm talking about, how he bumps his shield and so forth. It's just everything about it is just fucking phenomenal. But I'm sure you've heard a lot of pros on this game. Let's go ahead and talk about some cons on this game, because I know everyone has a controversial opinion on, or everyone has an opinion on about this game. So I do definitely want to throw some of my opinions on there. As far as ranking go, I can only say this is probably my top 5 game right now. It might be number 1, only strictly because of, I won't go that far. I won't go far number 1, maybe number 3, but I'm so conflicted right now. It's such a good game because the music is so good. I'm not gonna lie. The music is what makes it really happen. And the story is just it's really good too. It's a really good story. Not the best, but it's still a really good story. It's like a novel. It's like this game doesn't really play like a movie. I mean, of course, it does have its movie type scenes and so forth, but it's more like a novel. When you read into a book and you just read it and so forth, it's kind of like a novel. It is like a novel type of feel. So I like that a lot. And right now we're facing the mime, and oh god, I love the theme on this. And this is one of my favorite themes in the whole game. In fact, it is my favorite theme until like it gets to like the last act. Oh my god, the last act has some insane music, some really good music. This whole game has just really fantastic music. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk some cons. Obviously, the cons people are talking about is the turn-based system here. Turn-based is basically what that means is you're taking turns fighting. So it's not really like an action type of game. It kind of that's the only thing that was a big kind of issue.
What do you mean that's
But I feel that this turn-based combat is actually unique. I mean, because like you play games like Skyrim, Fallout 4, and I'm a huge fan of Jedi Survivor, where you just run up the walls and you can parry and all this other crazy stuff. But this is really interesting too. It makes it really. Whoever made this, they did a really good job on making things different, changing shit up. The enemies do all these different sorts of ways of animation, so it's actually really cool. And there's a bunch of different things that these enemies do, different buffs, different attacks. For example, this one is striking himself and giving himself shields, and you have like certain towers and so forth that you can use to weaken these enemies. Right now I'm playing on story mode, so I can only base it on the story mode. I have yet to play it on normal mode, and I may never, not as of yet, because I just have so many games to play. It just, the environment looks pretty amazing. So that's just one con, is the turn-based combat. Another con I have is I feel that the story I just feel it needs to be a little bit more fleshed out. I feel that yeah, it was kind of abstract. And oh god, I love this dude. This dude's name is Gustav. He's my favorite character in the whole game, and I love this dude. Yeah, I just feel that the story could have been fleshed out a little bit more. As you play the game gets more eerie, and it's really cool how they do everything. And another con on this game is some of these combat scenes just feel way too long. And it kind of drags, to be honest, but it's kind of cool too. So it's not a total con. I kind of like the long battles, but it does, in a way, it is a type of a con. But these enemies just look fantastic. But another pro is that the music is fantastic. So even though the battle scenes are pretty long, the music just keeps you going, and it gives you a really immersive experience on how these enemies are brought about and so forth, and it's really cool. But anyway, this enemy just looks hardcore. The music on this is just freaking amazing, and whoever thought of this enemy is just fucking insane, because there's all these hands, and it's like these hands want to jerk you off and grab you, do the reach around and whatnot. It would be kind of scary to have those hands kind of touch you in weirdest places. One touch your nipple, one grab your balls and stroke it. And you really don't want that to happen. You don't want this guy anywhere near you when you're doing some type of masturbation ritual, especially with those tentacle things where he can just stick it in any orifice that he wants. So you definitely do not want that in there. But the bright side, he could grab your balls and vibrate them while he's stroking it, and then the other hand touching your nipples. And let's get into the game, guys.
I'm ready. Ready to evade.
Really good stuff here. And oh god, I love the environment on this. It's such a good environment. It looks really cool. Let's see here. So let's get back into this boss. Some of the cons we have. Some of the animations, the enemy animations, which is, it's not necessarily a con. Some of the animations are the enemy animations. It's hard to predict, but it's cool. It's not really a con. It's just something to really point out that this game is challenging. for sure. And I feel another con on this is that there is a huge learning curve in this game. So you're not really sure what pictos to use, what type of luminous to use, and it's a lot of trial and error, honestly. And
You promised.
I think that's definitely a con in this game, is that this game does not hold your hand at all. And you know, again, and I think that's also not too much of a con. And oh god, the music just looks amazing on this as well. A lot of the old school games, especially the NES and Super Nintendo, it doesn't really hold your hand and so forth. So I think that these guys are trying to get towards that style of gameplay where they're not trying to hold your hand and so forth. Or was I at? Oh my god, that looks fantastic. That's one of the coolest scenes I've seen in video game history right there. It really is. But yeah, this game does not seem to hold your hand. I just wish it explained more. I read on the website that it's not really the pixels and the luminous that's the issue. It's the synergy, finding the correct synergy. So it's really just it's a frustrating process on what spells you should use, and you know, which creates immersion, because you're trying to find the best spells to use. Each one has their own different set of techniques. For example, skill, she's one of my favorites, just because she can heal herself, heal the whole party. She has sun, moon, and powers, and I still don't know what all that means, because I mean, like, when am I supposed to use the sun, when am I supposed to use the moon? So it doesn't really explain. I was just to explain it a little bit better. Minoko is, oh god, that guy's one of my favorite companions as well. And of course Mao is
She can turn into a Nevron.
ends up being a main character of the whole game. But she's really cool. I like her because she's on this basically, these guys are on an expedition, and this chick, she's not see, in the intro of the game you see a bunch of people just dying for like no reason at all, and you're just like, what the fuck's going on? Like, why is everyone dying? And you notice that only the older people are dying. So I'm thinking that you know, the people who were 34 died and the people who were 33 stayed. But then this young chick wanted to fight for some reason, because I guess she was Gustav's daughter or stepdaughter or something like that. Stepdaughter, I think, maybe. It's really hard to follow the story too. Story is great. I just wish there was more of it. So that's definitely a con of this game, is I just wish there was more story. You know, all these are not really real cons. I know people were bitching about the mini map, but even then I got used to it. It wasn't really too big of an issue for me. I just wish there was a little bit more story, a little bit more choices, but it's not a big deal. You do have 2 choices at the end of the game, which is pretty cool. Another issue I really had was when I first played the game. This is when I first started having issues. I was getting my ass severely handed by this old dude. I know this guy can't get it up for shit, but somehow he is owning my ass, and it's never a good feeling to get your ass handed by some dude who could not get it up. So fuck this guy, fucking asshole. My complaint on this is it was really hard to find what to do, and I was frustrated as hell. I was actually going through the game too fast. That was a mistake on my part. I thought it was gonna be like a Witcher 3 type game where you could, or you know, Fallout 4 type of game where, or let's say Witcher 3, because Witcher 3 is a little bit more whatever. You know, you could go through the game without leveling up too much, whatever. No, that's wrong. What I found out was I had to just use more leveled up pictos to beat this dude, and I was able to beat this guy just fine after that. But before that, I was getting my ass handed, and it was not a fun experience. So it's a bunch of trial and error. That's why I say it's a huge learning curve. Someone brought up to me that all you had to do was look on the expedition basics and so forth. But when you first look into the expedition basics, you don't really see all that. You just see a screen just saying the most basic combat, and I never realized there was like a scroll button and there was more to it. So I just wish they'd explained things a little bit better. Even then, I just feel it's still kind of a bit unclear. There's so much stuff to this game, so that's why I feel there is. I mean, even now I'm still trying to learn what certain spells do, what certain buffs do. It's a huge trial and error process. So this is I feel that was another con in the whole game. It was just the trial and error learning curve. It seems like you would really have to go through a walkthrough or tips to get good at this game. But luckily, for me, it was just a simple matter of trial and error. And lucky that did work for me. When I do play a game, I want to figure things out. Like I want to figure things out myself. I do not want to go on a YouTube or anything. Of course, it's there, but I think a game is way better when you don't have to go to the internet. And for the most part, I didn't, except for there's certain things. I got stuck on a level and was getting my ass handed, and all you had to do was just free aim, and so it's just a bunch of different things. I wish they told you, but nothing too severe. It's just some stuff to point out. And then these little missions, even though the music is jamming on this, I feel these missions are kind of annoying, where you just have to be precise, and if you screw up, you go on to the start, which is nothing too big of a deal. Just something to point out and so forth. It's just right now my expectations are huge for this game right now because the game is so good. Again, it's I can dangerously argue #1 game of all time. That's how good it is. It's how this game is just phenomenal, and a lot of the reason I believe it's because the game is extremely addicting. Very addicting. It's just I think sometimes it feels hollow at some points. I wouldn't say hollow altogether, just because there's not enough story to it, I believe, and I wish they'd explain things a little bit better. Because half of the game, like you're playing, you're just like, dude, what's going on? And you really don't know what's going on until like the end of Act 2. But anyway, let's talk about the pros. I've talked about cons for a good 20 minutes. Let's go and talk about some pros, okay? One of my favorite parts of this game is finding the different expeditions in this game. And I think it's cool because a lot of these expeditions have some really cool stories and how these people are dying and so forth, and it's really cool. I think in that particular level it was like Expedition 35, where it's one of my more favorite stories is that they all, like they're getting their ass handed by this enemy. So at the end, they realize that they're gonna die. That they all want to make a bridge, so the next expedition could come and have a better chance of fighting them. So when you go in there, you just see a bridge of dead people, and you realize that these people died and made a bridge themselves just for the next expedition to fight. So it's fucking awesome how each expedition has their own little story. There's just one expedition, I think it was at the end of the game, where it was like a buff expedition, and it was cool. Like, and I heard it from another group site as well, where it was a bunch of buff. It was a really buff expedition. I think it was Expedition 60, I believe, but They were so buff that their buffness was breaking through magical barriers, and that's how they were able to get through the gamage and so forth. Or I don't know what it's really called, but the lore on this game is just freaking amazing. The lore is just the enemies, guys. We have been severely spoiled on this game. This game is just wreck shop. I'm just so floored on how great this game is, man. Had very few great gaming experiences like this that kind of match up to it. Dragon Age Origins is definitely one of them, and the whole Mass Effect trilogy, particularly 2 and 3. 1's okay, in my opinion. A lot of people like 1, but I 2 and 3 are my top choices. But the whole Mass Effect trilogy, so those 2 games, always gonna have a special place in my heart. But those are my 2 favorite game experiences, and of course, Knights of the Old Republic. Oh my god, I don't even want to talk about that game. Just that enemy just looks amazing. And then there's Skyrim. And the only reason why I think that Skyrim might have the edge over this, and this is all like just my opinion. It's not even really, I'm not saying at all. It's what's it called? I don't even know, factual, whatever, because it's not. Everything's opinion. Everything is a total opinion. But the only reason why I say Skyrim has a slight edge, which it really doesn't, but I'm gonna give Skyrim the slight edge on this because there's so many side quests, so many stuff to do, so many factions. Skyrim just seemed endless, and after a while, this game, I think, especially during Act 3, is just it looks so cool. This is one of the coolest bosses there is. This is the coolest boss fight. I think this is one of the coolest boss fights there is. But such a cool boss fight. This is peak fucking combat right here. This is peak boss combat. It really doesn't get any better than this. It just looks really intimidating, and there has been other games that have done something similar, like God of War was a really good I never really thought about it because I'm not really a huge fan of God of War because of the puzzles and so forth, but God of War did have some really good enemy battle scenes, and I like how games have a really big intimidating boss like God of War. Another game I really enjoyed was Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, and those had some really great boss fights as well, super fun. And of course Resident Evil 4 had some amazing, the remake had some really good boss fights, but it just really looks fantastic, and it's cool. It's not just like intimidating bosses. They all have some sort of meaning. It's like playing in the big art festival almost, and it's just the music, guys, and art. It's just everything about it is fantastic. It's perfection. It is. I'm sorry to say it, but it kind of is. This game's perfectly executed. Whoever these guys just did the fantastic. These guys made one of the best games of all time, and damn. I'm kind of glad I redid this video. I made a commentary for this vid, but I just felt I wanted a better commentary on this, and I feel that this commentary might do this video justice because I do want to really build on the pros and the cons on this game, and I know I wanted to really make a strong case on the cons because not every game is going to be perfect, like how everyone's making, oh, this game is fantastic. Every game has its little flaws here, but as far as the pros goes, it's just so retarded good. This game might go down. It's my favorite game of all time. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I started playing Guard after this, and it was just it's really hard to get over what I just experienced. And it's not even story. I don't think it was even story. Like it's like what I said. The story isn't my favorite story. It's a cool story. It's it's an extremely unique story, a very eerie story. But you know, I like more happier endings. I like things a little bit more fleshed out. But as far as actual gaming experience, I think this may be one of the greatest gaming experiences I've ever had. Other than like Skyrim, where it's just there's so much shit to do. You know, of course, hardware games gonna have its own little perk. But I think overall experience, let's see, I can even say that to Dragon Age and Mass Effect, just yeah. But you know what I mean. It's just this is one of the best gaming experiences you'll ever experience in your whole lifetime. And I'm kind of glad I did brought up Dragon Age Origins and Mass Effect. So if you haven't played Dragon Age Origins, I would definitely recommend playing that game, because that game is just, I love it. It's such a fantastic game. But this game, it's just unique, and it's a lot of it. It's not just the music. It's the art. Whenever I read on the internet, this is a masterpiece. It's a huge work of art, and these dudes have definitely put obviously a good amount of time on where they were going with this. I like how the Nevrons and Justrals, I still don't know what that is. I've beat the game, I still don't know, have a clear ending. I think the Nevrons are the bad guy and the Justrals are the ones that help you, I think, but they didn't really explain on that. So I just wish that they have explained a little bit better on what it does and so forth. And I just love this boss theme. But yeah. So this is my second video of Clair Obscur. I know I did a first video, and I might have one more video after this, or this might be my last one. So if it is, it was great, guys. This has been a really amazing experience, one of the best experiences I've ever played in my life. I've had some really cool videos on here. Like I had the original Resident Evil 4, and you know, I do get kind of you hear in my voice where I'm just like, dude, this is a really fantastic game. So, and there was I think 10 minutes ago, you hear me kind of, this game is fantastic. A lot of it has to do with because like my son just woke up, so I kind of threw my train of thought. So it's really hard to make videos like these guys, because I kind of feel like I have to be in a certain zone, I have to be in a certain mood, and I really wanted to give this video a better commentary on this, and I feel I've already hit it on this. So guys, thanks for checking out my channel. I have so much stuff to say on these games. My PC's beast, and I'm hoping y'all enjoy this game as much as I do, and that's my whole purpose of these videos. Of course, you know, I would want to go back and listen to this, but I do want to make it a little bit more about it than just me, and I wanted to make it something we all can share equally. Hope y'all enjoy this game as much as I do. Happy gaming out there. There's plenty of fucking great games out there. Okay, guys, quit being assholes. There's a bunch of good games. Later.